Entry 217. For a long while I dwelled within a prison that no blade could cut through, a prison woven not of steel, but of perception. I lived inside the labyrinth of my mind constructed by fear, every corridor a thought formed by the echoes of others, not the truth of my own heart. My voice, the true one, had gone silent, not from lack of words, but from lack of recognition. I had mistaken the eyes of the world for the eye of truth. The filters formed by old impressions, the expectations of the outer lands, the memories of exile, the silent rules of survival, became the lens through which I viewed my soul. And in doing so, I denied myself, denied my right to be. But something within me has shifted. I now perceive this illusion for what it was, a frequency distortion, a dream of survival cast over the deeper knowing. I forgive myself, not just for the way I adapted to the illusion, but for not knowing there was another way. I was only ever trying to find the exit to that inner maze. I just didn't know there was a way out. It was here, within. To learn to truly be who I am is to be here, now, in this stillness, in this hum of living energy. Not chasing, not fleeing, just being, and from that, knowing. For cycles I moved through spaces without ever checking if I belonged there. I never paused long enough to ask, do these beliefs reflect my essence, or are they inherited illusions from a past that no longer fits? I had abandoned my inner authority. It's not that I was weak. It was the habit that I never knew could be broken. A habit of self-abandonment masked as belonging. But no more. I now know I have the right to believe in what rises naturally from within me. I have the awareness to seek truth, not as a set of rules imprinted on me by others, but as a vibration, one which can be used to override the subtle inner signals to guide me into harmony with my existence. I can see how the survival code became a curse, and I say this gently, with great love. I'm sorry to myself. I'm sorry for not listening to the truth of my inner knowing, for not being still long enough to feel what was true beneath the static. Because when I finally stilled, something extraordinary happened. This morning I walked through the pre-dawn dark of the forest of Vale Root. I climbed to the top of Mount Luminosa, where the great Sentinel Tree waits like a gatekeeper of sacred knowing. There I leaned my back against the ancient bark, and in that contact, with a knot at the perfect height to cradle my skull, my mind dissolved. No thought, no doubt, just presence. And in that presence, awareness unfolded like a cosmic map. I could feel both the forest and me simultaneously. There was no boundary, just experience. The birds began to sing before the sun crested the horizon, a symphony of signals reminding me I was not alone. The sky lit up with pink fire, and I felt it. A thrum of joy, not the kind that erupts in ecstasy. No, this was the quiet joy of being whole, of being home. I wept, a beautiful release, as I experienced this return to myself. In that space I remembered, the breath is a bridge, the body is a temple, and the heart is an eye, the true one. From this inner eye I can now see how I had let the head rule without counsel from the heart, and it was never meant to be so. The head navigates terrain, but the heart holds the map to meaning. I didn't realize that from my heart I can take responsibility for all aspects of my life. I can be responsible for the quality of my life, for where I place my attention, for how I direct my intentions, and for my output and creative expression. I no longer need to look back, feeling sadness or grief or fear. I know that I have been dealing with a lot of pain, so the struggle I have faced is understandable. From now on, I am ready to look forward with my new eye of the heart towards new horizons and new beginnings. I needed to see myself. I needed to feel myself, to realize how to find the space to really understand how it can be to feel fully connected and to be open to life. Today, I feel I've received a new frequency, an insight into communion, No longer do I need to escape, I can nurture my emergence. There is something new within me which has disrupted the old loop. I can perceive that my life could be a continual unfolding of realizations, seeking more evidence that the inner programming has changed. The labyrinth has not vanished, but I now walk through it with a torch lit by my own becoming. I sense it now. The world has not changed. I have. And because of that, everything gleams anew.